name is Ashton, and I think that moss has the best way to make a baby. Moss reproduces sexually by combining the haploid sperm from a male moss and haploid egg from a female moss. The result is a diploid cell that grows into a sporified stalk until it is ready to release its spores. They will eventually grow into new moss. Moss is better at reproducing than salmon because salmon just basically sprays its sperm all over the place and then it just dies. Whereas moss has to stay alive so that all the other moss plants can stay alive. Moss is also better at reproducing than frogs because frogs mix the sperm and the eggs together, and then the female pushes out a lot of little eggs, and then they basically just go away. Whereas moss has to stay together. So since moss it doesn't have a leaves and doesn't have a stem, so that it can't stand up on its own. So that moss has to stay together for support. That's why you always see moss in big groups like that, not just one little moss plant. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, my name is Hayden, and I believe the clownfish has the best way of making a baby. The clownfish reproduces sexually by the male and the female meeting in an anomie, and when they do this, the female will lay 100 to 1,000 eggs on the patch of the anomie where there's no tentacles or whatever they are, and when she does that, the male will then spray his sperm over all the eggs to fertilize them. After he does that, he will stay and protect the eggs for 4 to 5 days until they do hatch. Now the clownfish, and when they do hatch, they look like that, little baby Nemo. And the clownfish reproduces better than the salmon because when the male salmon sprays all of his sperm, he dies, and so he doesn't get to stay and protect like the clownfish does. And the male clownfish, and the clownfish also reproduces better than the bacteria because when the bacteria, they clone themselves and split in half, and they get the same traits over and over again. But when a baby clownfish like Nemo, he gets new traits from both of his parents. So he gets a new one, and when he has a baby, he'll get new ones too. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Hello, my name is Connor Hewitt, and my animal is the water flea. It's like a regular flea, but in the water. Now, it reproduces asexually, that means by itself, and the way it does this is that it releases its own sperm into its own spore into little egg sacs that it forms around its back like a little baby backpack, which is adorable. And if you have a little baby backpack, it's always safer to have the babies always with you, and you can always even look back to make sure you didn't lose any. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you got 10. Cool. Okay, now that we made sure that, it's also better than most animals that I can think of because, well, here's a couple of examples, like the snail, because it doesn't shoot people. And it's also much better than the shark because it doesn't eat its babies, which is just bad. So they should call the cops. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Isaac, and I'm going to talk to you about the spiny anteater, or the echidna. And it's the best animal for reproduction because it reproduces sexually, and how it does it is the males they line up in a line and they wait for the females to wander off, and they wait for the right moment, and then once the female is pregnant, it's wait for 10 days, and then she has her first baby standing up, and it crawls on her back, so it's kind of camouflaged, so that no animals can pretty much hunt it. And mine's better than the human because humans have 9-month pregnancies, and that's a lot longer than 10 days. And it's way better than fish because fish's eggs are out in the open and they can easily get eaten, just like in Nemo. And that's a bad thing. Thank you for your time and consideration.
And I think that the chicken has the best way to reproduce. They reproduce sexually. The way that they reproduce is the roosters usually do like a little dance around the hen in order to get their attention, but if the hen doesn't like them, she walks off. But if the rooster really likes her, he'll chase after her, grasp onto her back, and start his day. Roosters don't have a penis, they have a sperm glob on their vent, and they try to get into the female's vent, which is right there, in order to get them fertilized. Mine is better than an oak tree because the pollen from the dad tree has to go to the mom tree, and when it does, the acorn will go somewhere, and if it falls in like water, it can't grow. But if a rooster can't get discouraged like that, he'll actually chase after what he wants. It's also better than a shark because mom will eat her babies when she's done, but they don't eat their babies. They lay on them and keep them safe. Thank you for your time and consideration.